Talk Football channel. Today we're doing a Premier League show. This is the first one of a new series, so that's exciting. Just thought it'd be a good addition to the channel, some extra content, and obviously we understand that some of our content, because obviously we didn't start that long ago, really, like with this podcast, and we realised that obviously so far it has been a few other things, you know, with the debate questions and stuff, but we do realise that it has been centred more on Stoke recently, so we thought, what can we do to sort of broaden it out, and we thought this would be a great little show to do, to record every Friday night to release early hours of Saturday morning, something different for the channel, so we could talk about more teams and clubs that you may support and may be interested in. So we're going to get right into it then. If you want to say what's going to be happening in this first ever Premier League show, Ethan.
On the Premier League show, there's going to be a review of the midweek Premier League games, and score predictions for Saturday's games, and transfer rumours involving Prem players, and then who's better, Klopp or Pep Guardiola?
Yeah.
And if you were Haaland, what Premier League club would you go to and why? And last on the list, there is who's taking third and fourth place in the Premier League at the end of the season.
Now, that last one, I think that one's still important, because I know we said our predictions for I think we did say our predictions for the top six a few weeks ago in one of our first pods, but I just think with it's going a bit back and forth between teams and it's still close, I feel like our ideas can maybe change, or because like now Chelsea have sort of been revived, as well, whereas before they looked like they might have been out of it, and then you've got Everton there with a game in hand sitting right there, you know what. And also I wanted to, as an additional thing to that, I thought what would be interesting to say on top of that is where we think Liverpool will end up this season. And I only say specifically Liverpool after because, just because obviously they are a massive club and they have been so good over the last couple of years, so I think it'd be quite interesting to see where we think they'll end up coming, because that could show how far we think they've dropped in our expectations. Anyway, so that is everything we'll be going through, as Ethan said. So the first thing then to start off with is a review of all the games in the week essentially in the Premier League. So I'll just get those up very quickly. Well, I think, did it all start off with Everton playing Southampton? I'm gonna get it up now anyway, but I'm pretty sure that was the first one. Here we go.
Everton versus Southampton 1-0, Monday the 1st of March.
Nice. Right, yeah, so what? Yeah, I've got it up here now myself as well now, yeah. So what do we think of that one then, Ethan, to start off the week?
That's just a good team performance from Everton. Charleston obviously getting their goal again. Really good performance by Everton. Southampton, I don't know what's happened to Southampton, to be honest with you. They brought in some good quality players like Minamino. He's been playing well, but somehow I wouldn't say slightly, I'd say massively dropping from their start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, what can you? Yeah, I completely agree.
To be honest, I think it should have been 2-0 up, because Michael Keane had some good chances.
Yeah.
Two good headers.
Yeah, I think it shows. One, it shows how Southampton are struggling now.
Yeah.
But I think it also shows good character from Everton, just in the sense that I saw a lot of people saying it's going to be a close start game, could be an upset in Everton's top 4 run. So I think it shows good character from Everton to just sort of put those sort of ideas to bed and get another 3 points out them, climb towards that top 4 possibility.
Yeah.
And then after that, then we went to Tuesday, where Man City won 4-1 against Wolves. So, I mean, what did you think of that one?
Man City, it's just Man City playing well yet again.
Well,
it's just boring to watch Man City to win. No, it's boring. That's why no one watches it. I
will say it's just Man City being Man City, brilliant football, but
yeah.
I'll be completely honest with you. If you look at it, right, their opener is an own goal by Dendoncker, right?
Yeah.
Connor Cody makes it 1-1, 61 minutes in. So 61 minutes in, Man City have not even scored since the first goal. And then, right, they score to make it 2-1, 80 minutes in. Right, then they make it 3-1 on the 90th minute, and then 93 minutes they make it 4-1. So three of their goals came in the last 10 minutes or later.
Well, that just shows how good Pep Guardiola's got his players, like stamina.
Well, I think for me, it just shows that it was a bit of an unconvincing win. If you're going to score your goals that way, late, and as well, I agree with what somebody else said on TalkSport. It shows that sometimes City go complacent, and then because they're too confident in themselves, and they only wake up when they realise. When they concede and it's all level, and then they suddenly go into second gear again and realise, you know what, actually, we've got to get a move on. But I think they've got to make sure they don't get complacent. They've just got to be trying to put in as many goals as possible, regardless of whether they're winning or not.
At least it's an improvement from last year's against Wolves, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I only say about that because they've got to look at the little things. I mean, a lot of things they do right, to be honest. That's why they're an outstanding team. But they've got to look at the little things that they may get wrong. Mainly not because of the league, because they've got that wrapped up already. But the Champions League, that's when they need to be perfect on their to get a win. Yeah, that's what Pep was brought in to do. That was what Guardiola's mission was. So, yeah.
Could happen.
Well, they could get the quadruple. So if they did that, then what a brilliant season for City fans. Yeah. And then we went to Wednesday, where it was there was 2 games on, but there was Burnley at home against Leicester. That ended a 1-1 draw. What did you think of that one?
I mean, I thought it was quite a surprising result. How it was 1-1. To be fair, I thought Leicester would have got a win back from was it the Arsenal game?
Yeah,
it was.
I think so.
From a 3-1 loss.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal. I thought they would have been up and running at Burnley, but Burnley played well yet again.
Yeah, true.
It just shows what a good manager does to a team like Burnley.
Yeah. True, to be fair. I mean,
always stays in the Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, I'd say it's probably not great from Leicester's end of things, but good work by Burnley, really. So then we had Sheffield United at home against Aston Villa. Obviously, Sheffield United won 1-0 with a red card as well. What did you think of that?
That's really surprising. Sheffield United won against Aston Villa, all teams.
With 10 men as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. Shock result there, I'd say.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't think it was a red card though. Phil Jagielka. It was a yellow card, but
yeah,
apparently according to the AR. So
yeah. Well, I'd say I think it shows. I think it's a brilliant result for Sheffield, considering they're a man down. I mean, it would have been a great result for them, even if they had 11 players, never mind the red card as well. Unbelievable results. Do I think, after seeing that, that Sheffield United are going to stay up? No. I still think they'll get relegated. But I think at least...
Listen, have a think about it, just says it straight away. No.
Well, no, because I don't...
Well, it isn't though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I think this will be a game where, when they look back at the end of the season, when they go, well, in my opinion, when they go down to the Championship and they look back at what they did in the Prem, this will just be one of those games where they can go, yeah, we weren't good enough over the whole season, that's why we got relegated, but can you remember that game though where we were down to 10 men and we still beat an informed Aston Villa side? Little moments like that where they can be proud of the club for what they tried to do.
Yeah.
And then we had now I can remember you going on about this as well, because it was just so boring. Crystal Palace 0, Man United 0.
Oh my god, what a boring game. Jesus Christ.
I agree with what somebody on Talk Sports said. Little shout out to he's one of these people, you either love him or you hate him. Jason Cundy, Talk Sport. He said he's not a United fan, he's a Chelsea fan, but he was on with Andy, who is a United fan, one of the presenters on Talk Sport, and he said to him, and I agree with what Jason Cundy said, Bruno Fernandes didn't have the best game against Palace, and when there's no Bruno, there's no party.
Yeah, definitely, to be fair. But United defensively played well though.
Yeah.
But getting a clean sheet finally away. That's a good positive to take from it, let's be honest. They actually got a clean sheet away. They always concede away, but somehow managed to get goals in the opposite.
But is that impressive though against Crystal Palace though?
Not against Crystal Palace, no, but it shows defensively the progressing.
But but I do think, to get any positive from that is a bit... surely that is just poor from United.
I mean, yeah, but... Hey, I'm trying to be generous to United. Okay?
Don't be generous to United. I'll just be honest. Don't be kind to Lindelof and Maguire. They're getting paid like 80k a week.
Klopp's in place, so...
No, he didn't. He was Bailly once.
Yeah.
And Bailly, I'm just saying, I think he should be starting every week anyway. I've said this before, because I don't rate Lindelof or Maguire, but yeah, so I think Bailly should be in for one of those, probably in for Lindelof and Stav Maguire next to him, but... Yeah.
Don't forget, he's probably the best defender at United, I reckon. With his slight challenges and his pace and everything.
Yeah, I'd say he's
a complete defender.
I'd say he is literally the best centre-back at United.
The reason why he doesn't play as often is because he gets injured.
Yeah, he's been set back quite a bit through injuries, yeah.
So that's why he doesn't play regularly. If he was not injury prone, he'd be in that starting 11 every week.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Alright then, we'll move on. So, last night's set of games then now, because that's, Thursday night? Yeah, so Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll start with this one then. West Brom at home took on Everton, and it ended up a 1-0 win for Everton.
They scraped it, tell you that. They scraped that 1-0 win.
They did, but sometimes that shows how good you are to scrape wins over the line, even if it's not convincing.
Hey, to be honest, the offside was apparently, according to the commentator, harsh.
Yeah, it was. It was. I've seen that. It was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, really. It's not really.
He could have scored twice as well, because I'm pretty sure he had a decision against around about in the beginning of the game. So.
Yeah, Everton.
You got there. Yeah. Let's just hope your blue air stays on for the rest of the season. Blue air.
Well,
bloody hell's blue air now, honestly.
I don't know, Paul Pogba does that sort of thing a lot. One minute he has like a red strip through his hair, the next minute it's blonde, the next minute it's blue. I've seen so many different Pogba hair colours. Like he does this little stripe in his hair all the time, but I found it funny because I can remember Man United taking on obviously one of the rivals, Man City, away at the Etihad, and at the time Pogba's hair colour, he had a stripe of blue going through his hair whilst wearing all against sky blue Man City. So there you go. So I'd say, to be honest, it doesn't matter whether it's convincing or not. It's just about sometimes getting it over the line, and that's still
and you need consistency.
And it's still an impressive thing to do as well, because let's not forget, and this is not deliberate, by the way, because I haven't got an issue with Man United, but United weren't able to do that against West Brom. Yeah. So United, even if we don't think they deserve to be there, you might do. I don't know. Some people don't, but ultimately you can't argue with the facts. United are second in the league, and even United at times have struggled to get things over the line. So at least Everton were able to do that, which is good.
Yeah.
For Everton, of course.
I think Carlo Ancelotti though, he's done such a good job at Everton now. I actually rate him as a manager. I just think of the clubs he's been at, like Milan. He's been Real Madrid.
Yeah.
All these top clubs, and then he goes down to Everton and does the same thing to make Everton big.
Yeah.
And who knows? They could be in Champions League next year. They could be.
Yeah, and if their owner, Everton's owner, said he is willing and is going to invest in this team. He's willing to invest in the team with Ancelotti. So it looks like they're going to get the squad's going to get even better in the summer. So we'll see. It could be this could be the start of a great journey for Everton. We'll see.
Yeah.
And plus with the new stadium as well that they've planned out.
Oh, fantastic! Honestly, that stadium.
Yeah, brilliant. Looks brilliant. So anyway, we'll move on. So we had last night. We also had Liverpool at home against Chelsea. A 1-0 win for Chelsea. Just seems to keep getting worse and worse for Liverpool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's shocking from Liverpool. Just think how good they were last year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just win everything. Just obviously these injuries have been really,
a massive issue.
Big on. Yeah, massive issue. But if you're a Champions League winner and a Premier League winner, you should have the backup players actually progress on that.
I mean, what we'll say is
you should solve those issues.
I mean, they've had 3-4 injuries, but can any team plan for the amount that they've had? Especially since the injuries that they've had are in similar positions. It's mainly centre backs and.
Well, they had chances to sign some good quality centre backs.
That's true. Yeah.
And they didn't.
Yeah. They
brought someone who was fighting for their life at Schalke in relegation.
Yeah, it's true, and honestly, and I have heard people say that.
Why?
Yeah, He's not even. The thing is, even the players that they have signed, he's like, what was it that what's his name from Preston? Is it Davies?
Ben Davies.
Ben Davies. They're not even using him.
He's injured.
He got injured.
He was injured.
Because
I don't know what's happening now, but he's injured.
What? And then to back just doesn't look good enough from what I've seen.
Guess what? And it's funny how we're talking about Liverpool defence now. Apparently he's a doubt for this game, the next game, actually. So that's another injury to centre back.
Yeah, it's a terrible.
It's weird though, because why is this all the centre backs getting injured?
It's
training.
I don't.
It's hard. It's hard to.
Yeah, you never know. It could just be a really bad case of just being really unlucky. Like really unlucky.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, ultimately, I think I'll give you one positive, Liverpool fans, right? If there is any listening, and that is just picture this, right? It comes to the end of the season. You're sitting in 7th, 8th, maybe 9th, right? And you're thinking, this is awful, right? This could have not got any worse. And then, the beginning of next season, all of your players that you've desperately missed come back. You get a couple of good additions, because you are still Liverpool ultimately. So it might not be top class, but still useful additions. You'll be, he's going to be fit and ready to go, obviously, because he did have an injury as well at one point, and you get Van Dijk, and you're going to get all these great players back, and then you're going to be in a position, right, where you have literally got nothing else to focus on other than the Premier League, and clubs can thrive off that. That could be, because think about it, right, City next season, they're going to have to focus on the Cups, they're going to have the Champions League and the Prem. You're not going to have any European nights. If you finish outside the top 6, you won't have that. So when City at times are leggy and players are tired, your players are going to be fit and ready, raring to go. So
capitalize on it.
Exactly. So this bad season that you're having right now could actually make for a really good season next season.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
To be fair.
So just think about that, and maybe that might make you feel a little bit less sad right now. Say, but because I'm not going over the top. Liverpool fans will feel upset right now because of the drop off. So at least think about things like that. Maybe that could go in your favour. But anyway, and then we had the last game of sort of the Monday to Friday matches, and that was Fulham at home against Tottenham, and Tottenham got a 1-0 win.
To be honest, I don't know how Kane didn't score, to be honest with you. He had so many chances.
Yeah.
Just straight the keeper. Ariola played well, gonna be honest. Fulham, they could have got something, to be honest with you. They hit the post with Josh Maja again. To be honest, I thought Fulham deserved something in that game, but obviously Tottenham got the win, but it's just not the best goal in the world. It's an own goal, and the defender couldn't do anything about it. Dele Alli just flicks it onto him. He literally couldn't do anything, so.
Yeah, it's fair enough. For me, I just think if you're a Tottenham fan right now and you see your team beat Fulham 1-0, do not think that this is anything good. Right, I'm just going to be completely honest, because your team is not bad, it's not world class, but it's an alright team. But you're just with a manager that, with the current players you've got, are never going to suit properly for each other. And I just think this result does not make a difference. You're not going to get any European competition this season. And if you don't, that is just awful.
Yeah, it is.
You've got an owner that does back you financially, which is a good thing. You have actually got an owner that puts money into your club, in Daniel Levy. So I think it's just figuring out, do you back the manager and change the players, or do you keep most of the players and change the manager? I don't know, maybe that's something for you guys to think about and comment down below what you would say is better in that situation to do. Is it Jose or is it the players, or is it a bit of both?
Have you noticed how Jose always argues with one player? At least.
Yeah.
Last year it was on Belly. This year's Sally Alley. It's just, what's going on?
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, on Belly, probably their best player right now.
Yeah.
Consistency. And Højbjerg. He's been consistent as well. Yes, you've got like Kane and Son scoring, but they haven't scored recently. And they couldn't seem to score against Fulham.
Yeah, but you say that he's still scored more than enough goals for Tottenham.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I still agree with what somebody also said on TalkSport as well, that it's the same. Tottenham are the same as United, really, in the sense that if there's no Kane and Son, where would they be? Where would they be this season if they'd have started the season without Kane and Son? They'd probably be 14th, 15th right now. They would, just be completely honest, you know. But anyway, at least you got the window.
Their defence is like crap, to be fair.
Yeah, but them defenders, they're the same defenders that were quality a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Davinson Sanchez, everybody is calling him out to be awful. But don't forget, there was a period where he was actually rated. He was. He was classed at 1 point. Alderweireld, for all of his career, has always been classed as a brilliant defender. So I don't understand what's happened to those players. Because they were good. It's not like they've always been bad. They were good. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, at least you got the win though, for Tottenham fans' sake. Unlucky to Fulham though. Anyway, so we'll move on then to the next part, which is the predictions for Saturday's game. So I've got them all up right here. So we start off with a 12:30 kickoff. Ooh, Arsenal again involved in an earlier kickoff on the weekend. Burnley at home against Arsenal, 12:30. What is going to be the score in this one, Ethan?
This is going to be an interesting game, to be fair, I think. Burnley are going to be solid defensively.
Burnley, yeah.
And Arsenal are going to be really, really attacking. But I think Burnley can counter them at least once and actually put it away. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Arsenal. And I just want to say, if you go onto Fogden's channel, Claude from ASTV is on the show. Let's go! Come on.
Gosh.
Come on, mate.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
God.
Oh, he wants to see it, mate.
Yeah, and can we bring him up, please, to AFTV, because I've seen him speak about this on a podcast, and he got told he would come back on the show after taking whatever lessons he was going to be taking due to an offensive comment that he made in reaction to a game. But he's been taking those and he's never been offered back, and he said about how it's massively affected his mental health. So can we have an answer to why that's the case, or can he just get invited back to the show? Because I don't understand. He said one thing, yeah, it wasn't great what he said, but it was one thing. Everybody says something that they shouldn't say. I mean, DT, some of the stuff he said at times is outrageous. So, getting back in, he's made an effort to correct his wrongdoings. Getting back in is what I'd say.
From here, get Claude from AFTV back into AFTV. Come on, lads.
Yeah, right. So, 3 o'clock kickoff then. We have Sheffield United at home against Southampton. What's going to happen there, do you think?
Right, I think Southampton, after this sluggish period of losing so many games, I think they'll get a win in this one. I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1 to Southampton.
Yeah, I'm going to say for this game, Sheffield, they beat Aston Villa with a man down as well, which is really good for them. I'm going to say a 0-0 draw. I think Sheffield will hold on for a 0-0. So then tomorrow we have at 5:30, we move on then, Aston Villa at home against Wolves.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting, to be fair. Another good game, I'd say. But what's the score going to be? I bloody don't know. But I'll give you an answer anyway. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win for Aston Villa.
Yeah. So, I think fair enough. For me, I'm going to say, I think, Wolves, obviously they are good, but they aren't the same Wolves that they were last season. If you look at where they are in the league now and the results they've been getting now compared to what they were getting the season before, they aren't. And I think we've got to stop acting as if they are still like a top 7 side when this season they're not acting like one. So, and for that, whereas I think Aston Villa, I think they are a different level to Wolves, and for that I'm going to say it'll be a 3-0 win to Aston Villa. I'm just saying what I'm feeling, man, I just think... Fair enough. Yeah, so, anyway, we'll move on then. 8 o'clock kickoff. It's Brighton at home taking on Leicester. What's going to happen there then?
Right, Brighton, they need to score. They make the opportunities, but they don't score.
By the way, guys, what Ethan just said there is Brighton need to score. Because if you didn't know, Ethan's just reminding you to win a game, you do actually need to score. Thanks for that, Ethan.
No, let's be honest. They do need to score.
I know.
To get all the confidence up.
I know. I'm joking with you. I get what you're saying.
They had about 20 odd shots. Nothing. No goals. And Neil Mopey, come on, mate.
Yeah.
I think they'll lose here again against Leicester. Leicester are just too good for them.
Oh yeah, what's the score going to be, Ethan?
2-0 Leicester.
Fair enough, mate. I'm going to say, Brighton, they're not very good, are they? Well, they're not. No, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. They're not as good as Leicester. Leicester are on a different level. Brighton are good at times, but yeah, I'd say I'm going to say a 1-0 Leicester win. I'll say. So there is Prem games on Sunday, of course, but we will do our score predictions for those on the podcast, which will be out Sunday morning that we record Saturday night. So that's it for the predictions then. So then we move on to the next topic to talk about, shall we say, if you want to call it that, which is, I believe it's transfer rumours. Yeah, so doing a bit of research, seeing what the transfer rumours are over the past week or so. So I suppose we'll get straight into it. So we'll start off with this, which is Chelsea are keeping an eye on AC Milan's Donnarumma. What do you think about that one? Would that be, one, what do you think about it, Ethan? And two, is that something they should be looking into, Chelsea, or not?
Well, I mean, Mendy, he's been alright, hasn't he? He's been better than Kepa.
Yeah,
and
he's been good. I have actually rated Mendy's performances.
So, I don't get why they're trying to get another goalkeeper, because I'll just put Mendy's confidence down.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Well, don't get me wrong, it's a smart move as well, because it's going to be a free agent in the summer. So, if they come knocking on the door and get a free transfer off Gianluigi Donnarumma, who's like really young, by the way.
Yeah.
Just be a good sign. It'll be good and bad signing, basically.
Fair enough. So I'm gonna do this thing because I've seen it used a couple of other times, and I think it's an interesting thing to do. So, one is a rating on how likely you think this rumour is to happen, and the other is a rating on how good of a transfer move it would be out of 10. So first one is, out of 10, 10 being, oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen, like, I know it is, and sort of, you know, one being, it's not going to happen at all, it's a load of rubbish. How likely do you think, how realistic do you think this transfer is? Is it just one of those rumours that turns out to be a load of rubbish, or is there some likelihood to it? What would you give it out of 10? In terms of that?
I mean, I'd say 5 out of 10, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can see it happening, but in other terms, he could sign a new contract and just blows up.
Yeah.
Movement, like, happening, so I'd say 5 out of 10.
Okay, and then if it did happen, out of 10, how good of a transfer would it be as a whole?
Oh, it'd be an 8 out of 10 if it happened, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
For how good his quality is, for that young of a goalkeeper, that goalkeeping situation would be over. But obviously Mendy has come in January, done his bit in goal, played really well, so
yeah,
fair enough to Mendy.
Well, we've got this rumour, I don't know if you know much about him, an Argentinian midfielder in the Serie A, who's excelling in the Serie A, DePaul. He has been sort of looked at by Liverpool and Leeds. Apparently he said that he's always liked the idea of playing at Allen Road, but he's also now wanted by Inter Milan too.
Oh wow!
So
to be honest with you,
do you know much about him as a midfielder?
Yeah, I think he's a good player, to be fair. Like, he's more for his like position as a centre-mid. He's more of an attacking centre-mid to a CDM sort of player, but he can do his best in defence.
Okay, so alright then. So with that in mind, 3 clubs I've just mentioned there, Milan, Liverpool and Leeds, all in these rumours. With you looking at what sort of player he is, which team do you think he would fit into best?
Inter Milan, right, I don't really know. Who have they got in midfield? I don't bloody know. Let me check. Because this actually would be helpful. Inter Milan, did you say? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Inter Milan, Leeds and Liverpool.
See, like, Inter Milan haven't got the best midfield in the world.
But like, like...
You've got Ashley Young, right? And that's like, really?
No, that's... Oh, no, sorry, yeah. No, that's fine.
But, don't get me wrong though, will he even get into the team? Because they have got good central midfielders.
Yeah, it's true, to be fair.
Golan, Vidal, Barella, he's playing well for Insular.
Right, well, if you're thinking... Right, I'm gonna rephrase this question. You're DePaul now. Right. And you're gonna move, and you've got 3 offers on the table, let's just say the rumours are real. Leeds, Liverpool and Inter all come to you. And you've got to consider what's going to be best for you to grow, become even better, and going to get you a chance of decent game time and prove yourself. Where do you go based on those things?
For decent game time and all the things you said then, I'd say Leeds.
Yeah, because they're going to be on the
Because Liverpool
as well. So
yeah, he's going to be in the Prem. You can show the talent that he's got easily in that league since his game time and everything. He would be sorted. And if he went to Liverpool, he just wouldn't get played. I'm going to be honest, he just wouldn't. Because all the players would be coming back from injury. Plus they've got good midfielders anyway, like Wijnaldum.
Yeah, it's true. I'd agree with you. I would have said Leeds myself. For me, I'll be honest, I'm not going to say much on this one, just because I don't think it's... By the way, I actually completely forgot to say, I'll just say quickly, the Donnarumma one, I've completely forgot to say what I think about that. I'd say that would be a decent signing for Chelsea, but I agree with what you said about why would you do that in terms of Mendy? What's going on with Mendy? I'm not going to comment on this one just because I think it'd be unfair on DePaul, really, to comment on it when I haven't really seen much from him. I won't lie, I don't watch loads of Serie A. So, yeah, I mean, this is the first I've heard of this, really. So, I'm going to just ask you, so firstly then, how likely are these rumours? How realistic do you think out of 10?
See, since it's early, and it's not even summer yet, it can be considered as like a low chance, but at the same time, a club like Leeds need a good centre mid, and this would be a brilliant opportunity to get one. So yeah, I'd say that like the likelihood of it happening, I'm going to say Leeds. Because Liverpool and Inter Milan, where's it? Inter Milan? Yeah. I don't think that will happen. I'd like a 2 out of 10 chance.
Okay. Yeah.
But for Leeds, I'd say 7 out of 10. It could happen. It actually could.
Yeah.
And he said he would like to go to Allen Road as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right then. So. In terms of how good of a signing would it be? So for Liverpool, Leeds, and Inter, like a rating for each of those, how good would it be as a transfer?
Alright then, so for Liverpool it'd be about like 4. Good squad depth player, but not really challenging the actual starting 11.
Yeah.
So a bit like Shaqiri, for example.
Yeah, I get that.
For Inter Milan, I'd say a 5 out of 10, because I don't get why they would, because they've already got a class midfield anyway, and they've got a youngster called Barella who's improving every single game.
Yeah, he's a good youngster, he is, I know about him.
Yeah, so I don't get why they would, but I'd say a 5 out of 10. And
for Leeds?
Wait, what did I say? It could happen.
You just said it'd be a 5 out of 10 for Inter Milan, because it could happen, but it's not quality.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah. Okay. So for Leeds, I'd say this is probably going to be if it did happen, one of the best signings of the window in terms of position.
Yeah.
Because it's for an addition. It's compared to the players they've got now in midfield. It'd be really good quality. So I'd say an 8 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough. So moving on then. So this next one's quite interesting, and I can definitely comment on this one as well as I'm sure you definitely can as well. Leicester City, apparently, the rumour here coming from Sky Sports as a source, is that Leicester are on the verge of signing Edouard from Celtic because the Frenchman has wanted to leave Celtic for a while now, and he may finally get that wish this summer, as the reports. It's claimed that Edouard himself wants to move to the King Power Stadium, with the Foxes having to pay around 15 million to secure his services.
Sure.
So, I mean, I suppose I'll go first on this one then, let's say, since I didn't say anything on the last one. I think for me, this would be a good addition for Leicester, I think, in terms of somebody to bring on, somebody to have backup, so you haven't just got Vardy as a quality striker. Because Edouard has got proven ability, in my opinion. I think he's an absolute class striker. I think what he's done for Celtic and some of the goals he scored, I think he's a brilliant striker, and I think he does deserve that chance to prove himself in the Premier League. And I actually think if it's only going to be 15 million, I think it's a chance that Leicester should try and take.
Okay.
And for you?
I think this is probably this is a bargain. It's a bargain. 15 million for him. That's a bargain.
Yeah.
In today's market. But I think since Jamie Vardy's age, because I think he's 34 now, isn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. I think it could be his replacement, honestly.
And in your opinion, is that a good replacement?
Yes, very good. He's 23, Edouard is. So,
yeah.
good youngster. But just talk about the actual Leicester team. Would you rather have Iheanacho or Edouard?
Well, I think that's. I think that the fact that I think, to be honest, the fact that that's even a question is an insult to Edouard. I'm going to be honest, because I think.
To be honest, I don't think Iheanacho has had his chance.
Iheanacho, really? Because I think he's had too many chances. I think Iheanacho at best is average. Iheanacho does not fit into any Premier League side for me. Iheanacho right now, in my opinion, is championship worthy. And Edouard, he makes an impact not just in the SPL, he also makes an impact for Celtic in their European games, which says a lot about him. I mean, I think Iheanacho, he's had cup games to play where he started. He comes on as a sub in a lot of games. He just doesn't show anything for me. So I just think Iheanacho, what he needs to do, in my opinion, is he needs to leave Leicester and take a season or two out where he does just drop the level that he plays at to try and revive his career. Like, if he went to the Championship and say he is actually quality, he goes to the Championship and he bags 20 goals, That could revive his career. Then he could go back up to the Prem, and because of what he's done in the Championship, he's got that confidence and people believe in him, and then he goes and does something good in the Prem. I think that's something maybe he needs to do, because I think right now he's struggling, and his career is only going downhill at the moment because he's getting less and less game time. He's not getting any goals or assists. But yeah, I'd say Edouard, I think he'd be a quality signing. So then, in terms of likelihood of this happening, what would you say that is out of 10 then?
Out of 10, well, he really wants to go, doesn't he?
Yeah, it says he's wanted to leave Celtic since the beginning of the season, apparently, saying here. So
if there's any interest, he'll go.
And apparently, just before you give your rating, it says here apparently Edouard has said he wants to go to Leicester after reading this rumour.
Well, there you go then. So if Leicester wants him, I think it's gonna. For the likelihood, I'd say 9 out of 10. It's stupid not to buy him.
Well, if it's going to be for that price, yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid not to buy him.
Okay, so
if we found out that he was not good in the Premier League, you could obviously just offload him to somewhere else for dear.
Ooh, I think for me, I think if he didn't do well, you probably would lose a bit of money on him. But I think he would. I think, to be honest, I think it's a risk worth taking, because even if he didn't do well, you're still going to be able to sell him for at least 10 mil. And if you bought him for 50, it's a 5 mil loss. But that's not a lot of money to Leicester. And I think it's a risk worth taking, because I do think it'd end up well for him. So for me, for likelihood, then what did you say again?
I'd say 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. I'm going to say an 8. I'm only going to go one lower than you, because I know how desperate Celtic will be to just hold on and not let him do what he wants, because they've had a bad season with him. So then without him as well next season, he's a striker for them, it could be even worse. So, but I'll still say that it's likely to happen, because players nowadays, if they won't go, even if the club wants to keep them, they get their way now. Players do usually. Yeah. So I'll say an 8. I think Leicester should go for that. And then out of 10, quality of the signing, what would that be? If that
quality of signing.
Yeah.
I think it's for the bargain, it's probably be one of the best signings of the entire window. Not just Premier League. The whole leagues combined, that'll be probably one of the best signings for Leicester. So I'd say a 10 out of 10. Such a good signing.
10 out of 10? They're not signing Messi, are they?
Who?
They're not signing Messi, are they? 10 out of 10?
No, in terms of quality, he brings quality. And it's if he doesn't do well, you can sell him for not too little.
It's his quality and the 15 million that does it for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'd say for quality that'd be a solid 8 out of 10. I think it'd be one of the top transfers of the window. I wouldn't say it could be top, just because you never know what transfers are gonna happen. But I'd say I'd put it in the top 4 or 5. I wouldn't put it any lower than that. Yeah, it would be quality, and I do think Leicester should do it. And if they did, for that money too, I think that'd be great. So I'd give it an 8. That one. So now, just check. So we've got 2 more transfer rumours then. So this one then, we'll move on. Canate is on Arsenal's radar. Arsenal are interested in signing RB Leipzig defender Ibrahima Konate. That's what the report's coming through as. The Frenchman is subject of interest from the Gunners and a host of other clubs around Europe, which is no surprise. Football London claims, now this is also claimed from Sky Sports as well, this source has come from, that Konate is one of 6 targets for Arsenal that they want to get this summer, and that the Gunners are willing to generate funds by selling striker Alexander Lacazette to fund deals like Konate if they could get them over the line. So, quite interesting. What do you think about this?
Well, Lacazette, he hasn't done it for Arsenal, has he? Let's be honest. He hasn't been the same player he was at Lyon.
No, he hasn't. Yeah,
do you think it's a good move? Yes.
Yeah.
Very good move. They need to do that. But will it happen? It's going to be hard to do it because RB Leipzig, they've already lost Upamecano to Bayern. Why would they get rid of another centre-back who is basically like Upamecano, but just taller? So, in hindsight, could be classed as better.
I mean, for me,
But I don't watch the Bundesliga, so I don't have much say on it. But he is very promising at the age of 21. And that's why Arsenal might are likely to go for it, but will it happen?
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd say he's quality. He'd be quality for Arsenal, and that's exactly why I don't think they'll get it. Because anything that's top quality with a lot of potential, Arsenal aren't going to get. Because guess what? They're not good enough to get that. They're not good enough to attract that. Leipzig they'll let him go. But if they get a lot of money.
Yeah.
If they get a lot of money. Arsenal aren't going to be able to have that money. They're that desperate to get money in. They're willing to sell players like Lacazette, which Lacazette, his market value will have dropped a lot because he's dipped since Lyon. And even with Lacazette selling out, I don't think they'd have enough for Konate. I can see this being one of those that's pinched and picked up by, I don't want to say Bayern because they've got Upamecano, so I wouldn't say Bayern, but a team on the similar pegging as a Bayern.
What's like a Dortmund or something like that, maybe?
Maybe a Dortmund, maybe a sort of...
forget that these are in the Champions League.
Yeah.
That attracts it as well.
Yeah, and the thing is with Konate as well, not just the money that I think is an issue for Arsenal. I don't think Konate would want to go to Arsenal. That's a drop, isn't it? He's got no European competition if he goes to Arsenal. He's got nothing. What has he got? And look who he's going to be playing with. A bunch of players at the back that don't know what they're doing. There's no attraction for him, I don't think, as a defender to go there. So I don't think he will personally, but I'll go to you. So likelihood of the signing out of 10.
Good luck, Arsenal. 3 out of 10.
I'm gonna say 1. Yeah, just no chance. I don't think Arsenal aren't good enough. You're not good enough. And I think sometimes you've got to realise that, you were good enough to get top players like 10 years ago. You're not anymore. Get with the times seriously and start reevaluating what you are good enough to get, because it's certainly not players like this. Quality of the signing, if it did happen?
9.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say an 8.5. Well, no, a 9. Yeah, because of how desperate Arsenal's defence is. Yeah. I'd say that would be unbelievable work from Arsenal, and that's exactly why I don't think it'll happen, because Arsenal are not good at doing unbelievable work. But I'd say a 9 if it did happen. Right, so this is the final thing today. So I just thought I'd put this in there. I thought this was quite interesting, actually. So, Southampton manager Ralph Hasenhüttl admits uncertainty surrounding Danny Ings' future, and it could be affecting his performances at the moment. So Ings, who has scored 1 goal in 8 league games, has entered the final 18 months of his contract and has been linked to moves to Tottenham and Man City. Yeah, Hassan Hussel said, I speak sometimes with him about this, and I can imagine that you get more pressure when you are not committing to one way or our way, for example. Hassan Hussel said he has reasons why he doesn't do it that give himself a little bit of pressure maybe, but I think he is experienced enough to handle this. So, Tottenham and Man City, having links with Hassan Hussel there, what to say about that? I mean, 1 goal in 8 league games now. Is it rumours like this that are affecting his quality? Is it just that he is just dropping in quality? And also, what do you think about being linked to Tottenham and Man City, Danny Ings?
Well, with Danny Ings, it's like his peak season was last year, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure he was 27. That is the peak in age.
Yeah.
So, it's like, why he's dropping off, I don't know. But yes, rumours can affect the performance, like with Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, it's very true. It's a good example used, to be fair.
Man United, and he drops off. But now the rumours aren't coming flying out anymore. He's playing well, and he's probably going to play for England again. So I'm glad he's turned it around. He's a good player, Jadon Sancho is. So yeah, but with Danny Ings, I think they're the wrong clubs that he's linked with. Will they get game time? No. No way. But there is a possibility of Man City. Because Sergio Aguero, he's going to be gone soon. And Gabriel Jesus, he's too inconsistent.
But let's be honest, Jesus will start over Ings. Jesus will start over Ings. If you look at, because I was actually doing a bit of studying on Jesus, and he's averaging, they were saying on TalkSport, they did this literally the other day, he's averaging about a goal every 2 games, Jesus, or over, on average, for his league appearances compared to his goals. Which is that is regular goal scoring. If you're getting 1 every 2, or over at times. So I think Jesus is young. Jesus is young as well.
Yeah.
He's young.
I don't think he likes Jesus Pep, but he has to play him. Just because of the strike, and he's a good striker. Don't get me wrong, he's a good striker.
I disagree. I disagree. I think he rates Jesus. Because there's no reason why I can't play somebody else. He can play Aguero. Well, he can play Aguero.
Yeah, but he's been injured a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, but look at how many goals he's scored for City.
Yeah.
I think he can, but the reason Aguero gets benched all the time is because I think he does rate and wants to give Jesus a go. I think, to be honest, you say about Tottenham, I think Tottenham would be a good move for Danny Ings, because Harry Kane could go in the summer anyway. Even if Harry Kane doesn't go in the summer, Danny Ings is getting put on in front of what's his name, Vinicius.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think they'd back him more than him, so I'd still think he'd get alright game time. So for me, I'd say it's certainly an interesting one. But anyway, likelihood of him moving to Tottenham and Man City out of 10 for each.
I'd say 4.
For both? Is that for both?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'd say a 4 as well. Actually, I think I agree with that. I think it's unlikely. I wouldn't call it ridiculous. That's why I wouldn't give it lower. But I'd say it's unlikely. Yeah. All right then. So, that's it as well. How good of a signing would it be for Tottenham and Man City out of 10 if it did happen?
I'd say if it did happen for Tottenham, especially, it'd be like about a 6. Since like for their like signing, like for their strikers especially, Harry Kane, top class, best striker in the world, arguably. But then you've got Carlos finishers. It's like, yes, he scored a hat-trick against Marine. You're hard.
Yeah, but to be fair, you said that I can remember you saying earlier on in the week though that you think Vinicius should be getting more of a chance.
Well, to be honest, he should though. But it's like, is he showing it in training? Is he showing he's got that good quality?
Yeah. Okay. Well.
And I think if Ings came in, it'd boost him up. Like I like Alex Tellers as with Luke Shaw. It'd be like that.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'd say sort of for quality be a 6 as well. I think he'd still bring something, but he wouldn't be major headline signing. So I would agree with 6, and I also agree it could lift Vinicius. I mean, the thing is, that's exactly what I said I think will happen in the summer in the Euros, is that I think we'll see Harry Kane actually go up in quality for England compared to him at Tottenham, because he's competing against DCL, and I think DCL will actually improve Harry Kane, even if DCL doesn't start over him, because that competition will drive him. Anyway, that is... Yeah, they could play. Yeah, that's true, but I just think regardless, I think that could drive him, and so, yeah. Anyway, so that's all the main rumours that I could find for this week. So we'll be back with some more rumours, I'm sure, next week. Hopefully some more come through. Hopefully there'll be some interesting ones. I thought there were some interesting ones tonight there, to be fair. So anyway, now we'll move on to a debate question. It's quite an interesting one, really. Who is a better manager? Is it Klopp or Pep?
I think it's Pep.
And why?
Like, he's proven himself in every league he's gone to.
Yeah, but...
Bundesliga.
Yeah, but I'll give you a counter-argument, because I'm not saying I disagree. But he's been given money everywhere in a quality squad, surely. Hasn't he? He's been given quality every time he's gone to somewhere. He's never really been challenged.
Well...
Look at the squad he had with Barcelona.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Already unbelievable players, Xavi and all that, Iniesta. Unbelievable players, right, in their prime as well, by the way, with loads of money on top of it. Man City, they spent a load of money. Is he quality, or is he just getting pumped with a load of money? I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with you, but that's just a counter argument.
I mean, like, with all this, like, it's modern day football though. Money is football right now, to be honest. I mean, see, like, every player is gone up in value because of it as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't... That just because you know to spend money doesn't mean you're necessarily quality.
And like, he knows, like, the game, like...
But what's the proof of that? Is that in the ways teams play? What's...
Well, he's shown it across the years, hasn't he? Of how good of a manager he is. He makes players even better.
But would he...
Even though, like...
Yeah, but would he have had the success that he's had if he'd have been given less money than he's been given?
Who knows?
Yes, that's true. I'm not saying I disagree, by the way. I'm just trying to make it interesting. So you go Pep.
But with Klopp though, he is a good manager. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, it's like he spent 72 million on a great centre back. He chooses his players well for the price of the money, if you get what I mean.
Right, yeah. But you'd say Pep edges it though.
Yeah.
For me,
and we have seen it with Pep Guardiola and Klopp. They've been up against each other many times in the Bundesliga, and most times it has been Pep who wins it as well.
Yeah, but I know.
But you could say money again.
But also to counter that as well, look at the stat for. I know Man City did win at Anfield this season, but before that win, Man City had an awful stat for their wins against Anfield. They'd not won there in years before that win this season.
They won it.
Well, yeah, but other teams have. They may not have. Well, I know what you're saying, but not just struggling to win. I mean, I don't know. For me, I think even if Pep did do him in the Bundesliga, maybe that's Klopp getting an edge, at least at home in the Prem. But for me, who's a better manager, Klopp or Pep Guardiola? I think that's difficult. For me, I think realistically, I'd give it to Klopp just because, yeah, he has spent money as well, but he's not just spent it in floods like Pep has. It took him 3-4 years, to get this Liverpool side together. So it was a graft, and he got them to the top level. He got them the Prem, he got them a Champions League, something that Pep hasn't done yet, by the way, getting a Champions League for Man City, which is something Klopp has done. So I think Klopp edges him on that because we all know how big a Champions League is. So I'd say, for the fact Klopp didn't get it overnight, and that's what I like about it. He had to work for years to get that team to where it is, with good little bits of investments here and there, and he built it up and he put it all together, and he got it to an absolute unbelievable level that they never thought they would reach, because before he came they were aiming for just top 6 really, and then they ended up getting into the top 4 under him, and then they got he just kept pushing up and up. And like I say, he's got that Champions League, which Pep still hasn't got for City yet. So I'm going to give it to Klopp, but obviously Pep is absolute quality as well. But yeah, moving on then. If you were Haaland, what Premier League club do you go to and why? Because there's a lot of rumours going around right now, and if you're hailing Haaland, let's say you are going to go to the Prem, let's say you've already made that decision, and you've got all the clubs, you've got the main clubs offering on the table, who do you go to?
Well,
if you're Haaland,
I think if you want good every week game time, I wouldn't be surprised if you went Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because I think it's most likely going to be Chelsea again as well. In terms of game time and how much Chelsea need a top quality signing.
So you're saying that if you were Haaland and you're looking at Chelsea right now, you would think as Haaland, yeah, I want to go there.
Well,
because if you're Haaland, because I know there's game time and all that to go in it. So if you were Haaland, would you think that's the best move for me?
I'd go Man City.
Well, there you go then, because that's what we're saying. If you're Haaland, where'd you go when you consider quality, game time, and so on. And why'd you go there? So why would you go Man City?
Well, he'd easily get over Jesus, I think. Easy. Don't get me wrong, he's good, Jesus, but I think Haaland's top quality striker. He's everything you want in a striker.
Yeah, I mean, it is true, to be fair. It's funny that you said that, because I was actually going to say Man City myself as well, because for exactly the same reason, he'd easily go past Jesus into the first team, and look at the quality he's going to have around to supply him for goals as well.
Yeah.
De Bruyne, Foden with his energy and his enthusiasm, Sterling with the pace, getting inside, cutting it back in the box. He's just going to have so many avenues and streams of players that can give him brilliant service, and I think that could turn him into an absolute goal machine in the Prem, having that quality around him. So I'd say Man City as well, actually. I just think, if he get game time there anyway, and he deserves to go to a club that's top quality in the Prem with how well he's doing. I think that would be, if that happened, I think it would almost be bullying to the rest of the Prem, because Man City are already running away with it now. Imagine with Haaland, it would be, probably wouldn't even be a contest anymore, to be honest.
And will it happen though? I don't know, because financial fair play is a thing. And how much do you need to spend on Haaland right now to get him?
Well, this season it could be a lot, but actually he's got a clause in his contract, which means at the end of next season you can buy him for about 60 to 70 mil.
See, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it depends how desperate you are as a team, because if you hang on for another season, you can actually get him for a bargain. Which just depends on whether teams do that, whether they hang on for another season or whether they go, no, I want him this summer, so we'll pay the money. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, in terms of realistically would that stuff happen, we don't know for sure, but it was just a bit of like, if you were Haaland, where would you go if it was guaranteed that they could get you? And I think, Man City, I think that would be the best solution for Haaland, to be honest, in a step up in his career. So then, finally, who, after looking at the results over the week, who's going to get third and fourth place, do you think, Ethan?
After this week, did you say?
Yeah, because I know we predicted, I think we did say about who our top six was going to be a few weeks ago, but just looking at how things are going at the moment, I mean, for the foreseeable future, who do you think is going to end up being in that third and fourth place? Is it going to be how it is now, or is it going to change for those two places?
Well, for the end of the week, the Prem table for third and fourth will, I think Leicester will drop into fourth, and Chelsea will go above them.
Yeah.
Then Everton will go into fourth, since they've got a game in hand as well.
Yeah.
Will go into that fourth position.
Yeah.
Then West Ham will be creeping behind them as well. So I'll see Leicester slipping down.
So are you saying that it would be, say, third Chelsea and fourth Everton?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd agree. That's pretty much what I was going to say. I think with Tuchel, they're heading in the right direction, Chelsea, and I think I can see that boosting them. So I'd agree, to be honest. I think Everton with a game in hand, they've got some confidence behind them with getting some results in the bag recently. So I'd agree. I'd say Chelsea third and Everton fourth as well. But it's going to be a really good battle, though. It really is, because there's a lot of teams in and around there battling for it. West Ham, I know Leicester are in there right now, but they're still going to have to battle it out. so will Chelsea, so will Everton. It's going to be really good, but I think for right now, I think it'll end up being Chelsea and Everton. So that sort of wraps up this our first Premier League show. So I'd just like to start off by saying, we hope you enjoyed listening to it, because I say this every time. We enjoyed making it. We enjoy making these, so we hope you do enjoy listening to them, and we hope you enjoy this. By the way, the first episode of a new series. We hope you like the idea of this new show to introduce. And is there anything you'd like to add, Ethan?
Yeah, thanks for watching, and that's all I've got to say, really. Yeah,
and please, obviously, it'd be massively appreciated to like and subscribe. That'd be great. And comment down below if there's any suggestions or anything you want to say, because we will read your comments. So we do always check to see if there's any comments. So but that's it really from me and Ethan. So we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you for the podcast, which will be coming out early hours of Sunday morning. But we'll see you then.
Alright, in a bit.
See you later. See you in the next one, guys.